KSAM Huntsville, broadcasting live from the Wiesner Huntsville studios. We are your hometown radio station, playing today's best country and all your favorites. 101.7 KSAM.
It's the Huntsville Hornets Coaches Show with head coach Rodney Southern, brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Now, here's Carlos Zimmerman and Brian Adams.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Hornet Nation Coaches Show, live from Chick-fil-A in Huntsville. Carlos Zimmerman here. Alongside of me is Brian Adams. Brian, how are you, sir?
I'm good, Carlos. Good to see you.
Yes, the weather was phenomenal this morning. I'll tell you what. I walked out the door at 5 a.m. today to do our morning shift on our sister station, and it just felt great. I thought I needed a light jacket.
Well, man, that is beautiful. It's better than it's been in the last several months.
Absolutely, and we're glad to have all of you here, whether you are here in the house tonight at Chick-fil-A enjoying a great meal here, or if you are watching or listening to the show tonight, glad to have you with us. Joining us, as always, first is the head coach of your Huntsville Hornets. Y'all give it up for head coach Rodney Southern. Come on. Coach, how are you, sir?
I'm good.
Glad to have you back here as
Thank
always.
you.
Absolutely. Coach, obviously just a tough loss to Clear Springs to wrap up non-district play, but just your thoughts from the ballgame.
Well, I thought overall, especially the first half, having to start Marcus and the things he did in the first half, and I thought we played pretty consistent the first half. I thought both O-line and D-lines were pretty consistent, and then, of course, the third quarter was a bad quarter for us, and the game kind of got out of hand at the end of the third and early in the fourth. But, again, you play non-district games to find your identity and to hopefully make your team better. And, and there were some things that I thought our team got better. I don't know if you get 100% better in a loss, obviously, but at the same time, when you play big opponents like them, of course, them and Brian are very similar in terms of size and number of kids in their program. You hope you get better from that, and we grew from some things and found some more things that obviously we need to continue to work on. But the good thing is, your non-district schedule, we played 4 games and we were never 100% healthy in all 4 of those games, and we're going to be as close to 100% healthy Friday night as we've been all year.
Coach, defense looked rather solid in that second half, especially with the great play of a double nickel, Kadarian Easley, and, of course, Mccor, who we'll have on the show tonight. Just what more specifically stood out to why your defense was able to hold Clear Springs as long as they were able to?
Well, I think we've consistently defensively gotten a little more physical and a little tougher at the point of attack. We've been consistent enough D-line-wise and been able to play 7 or 8 of those guys. And for defensive guys, if you can play at least 3 defensive tackles and 3 defensive ends throughout a game, you have a chance. And obviously we use Jarius Singletary some as a defensive end as well. So that's 8 or 9 guys. I think we've still been pretty consistent. I thought Tyler Smith, another one of our D linemen, took a step the other night. Of course, he blocked 2 extra points, which were huge in the game. But I think we're getting, again, more and more physical. I even thought our corners, Brent Carroll's a young guy who's, as a sophomore, you wouldn't expect or say a young guy like that's physical, but he's gotten physical. Of course, Bug was really physical the other night, almost to a point of getting thrown out of a game on a targeting. And I looked at it Saturday morning, and I got to apologize to official because it was targeting. I mean, his head's down, but it was a heck of a lick on their sideline. So, when you're not afraid to go hit people, you're going to make some mistakes at times, but you're going to make some plays that are at some point they're going to impact the game. And I thought he and Shiloh both played. Shiloh probably played more snaps and more consistent than he's played in a while. But overall, those guys are working hard and they're doing what we're asking them to do. And it's going to pay off. It's just hopefully that payoff starts Friday night against Montgomery.
Coach, being an old Hornet myself, one of the things that I really do like, this is certainly not the same team as last year. It is a much better team. But the physical play that these guys are doing, To me, I absolutely love it because, to your point, they can change the tide of a game with just one hit, and I absolutely love that. But just I got off topic real quick. I always get the quarterback questions, so let me go back to that. At quarterback position, with Austin out, you went with Marcus Lewis. What were some of the things he did right in terms of the game plan, and maybe some of the things that he could do better in the future?
Well, and obviously, we don't tell everybody's business, but, Austin was sick last week. He actually didn't practice till Thursday, and he couldn't do a whole lot that day. He was just physically was not ready, obviously, to take snaps. So Marcus had to handle the job, and I thought the first half, I thought he threw the ball extremely well. The two comebacks and out routes that he threw on our sideline, I think he threw both of them to Melton, were throws or timing throws, but they were really, really good throws. Now, I think in the third quarter we lost our focus a little bit, and he made some mistakes handling the ball. But, Marcus is the thing about him as a young guy, he relied on his legs and his ability just to play football as a freshman. Well, when you get to the next level, there are guys running around on that field as faster than you are, especially if you're a sophomore and you're playing against seniors. Those guys physically may be better than you or faster than you. So he's having to learn how to handle that. But, just like the touchdown he threw to Brillan, that looks from the sideline or from the stands or from a person's perspective, well, that's an easy throw. Well, no, it's not, because the guy actually was in good position initially on Brillan, and he made a great throw, and, of course, Brillan made a good catch. So, Marcus is going to do the game plan stuff. It's not that. It's when you get off script. He took a couple sacks in the third quarter that you can't, especially that 3rd and 6 after the turnover. You can't take a sack there. Throw the ball up in the stands, and we'll play 4th down if we have to. But again, some of it was on him, some of it was on O-line, some of it was on us as a team. But the one area that was disappointing is when Shiloh got that quarterback sack and they fumbled, and we didn't turn that into points. And I think that was kind of in the third quarter, that was a tide changing, because it could have been a momentum shift that could have been bigger than it was, and we didn't turn it into points. Penalties, one penalty in a critical situation there on the holding call. But, I thought overall, especially having to take every snap knowing you're the guy, I thought Marcus, especially the first half, he played really well. We've got to learn to finish games when we get behind, or finish games when we're way ahead, like we were against Bryan.
Coach, the third aspect of the game, special teams, on one end was a bit of a struggle with a botched punt and snap on that front. What adjustments are you guys making this week to rectify those issues on special teams?
Well, we were good in a lot of areas. One step with J-Bug. We got too many bugs in our field house. I have to keep their names together. But, one step on the sideline, and Jeremiah Winfrey runs another kickoff back for a touchdown. Tyler Smith blocks 2 extra points, and some of that's just effort. Some of it, the first one, and probably a mistake on their part, but still the guy's got to do it. The snap, and Shiloh will be the first one to tell you, he just botched it, and that's tough on a punter because it's not a good snap and it's at your feet. And a lot of times that's going to be bad on either front. And, of course, it was in a position where it's in the end zone, and, so you give up a safety. But, we've tackled really well on kickoff. I thought Joseph kicked the ball, because from the stands nobody knows what he's doing except us. I thought his squib kick in the third quarter that bounced over their head was a great kick. He pooched 2. We had an onside kick set to start the game depending on the depth of their center, and the guy moved away from where we really wanted to kick the ball, so Joseph had to adjust that. But we've tackled really well. Our kickoff team, to me, has been as good as we've had in a long time, and obviously having a kicker that can put the ball where you want him to put it is critical. Now, he's still learning as a punter, getting the ball, because we try to punt the ball to the short side of the field all the time. But, overall, you have a botched snap. Now it looks like everything was bad, and that's definitely not the case, not in Joseph's situation.
Was there anything that Clear Springs did differently that caught your team off guard by chance?
Not really. Their running back didn't play. Their big receiver didn't play. I thought physically we matched them physically the first half. I thought the third quarter they decided, which is to me is what they should have done to start the game. They should have lined up and put an H. Other than that, they didn't drive the ball up and down the field on us. They made a couple big plays, but and we've had that one big play. And if you watch it, and of course the guys that took angles, they knew as soon as they did it that the angle wasn't good. But again, other than that, from a physical standpoint compared to last year. I thought we matched their physicality. Now, we're not as big as them. The big left tackle is a legit Division I guy. I mean, he's going to play. He could play on Sundays, just physically. But, I thought even our young, and I always go back to Brent Carroll because Brent's, he doesn't know that he shouldn't be out there doing what he's doing, and that's a good thing. So, other than that, you want to win every game, obviously. But you also want to be in a position, like I've already tried to start on scheduling teams for next year with realignment, and I'm still getting a lot of people who don't want to play us, and I really don't understand why. So, we may be back at 5A Division I guys and 6A guys again.
All right, we'll step aside and take a break. More with head coach Rodney Southern on the Hornet Nation Coaches Show after this, live from Chick-fil-A.
American Glass and Mirror, with 25 years experience, does all things glass and mirror, auto, residential, and commercial, providing friendly service with reasonable prices for quality products and skills, fixing, repairing, replacing, designing, and new installations. We've got a lot of glass around us. Think of American Glass and Mirror when you need them. Quotes are free, and you'll see they're reasonable, and their service and products are high quality. American Glass and Mirror, located at 2612 Montgomery Road.
Looking for something sporty and great on gas? Then head to Bill Fick Ford in Huntsville. Turn heads and fill up less often with a sporty new fuel-efficient Ford crossover like the ever-popular Ford Bronco. Orders for 2024 Broncos are now open. Or check out the built-tough Ford F-Series trucks, including the all-new Ford F-150. Bill Fick Ford, where customer satisfaction comes first. And there's no bull, just good deals. Hurry in today or shop online at BillFickFordHuntsville.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here on the Hornet Nation Coaches Show, live from Chick-fil-A in Huntsville. Carlos Zimmerman here with Brian Adams and head coach Rodney Southern. I want to remind you folks, for the folks in attendance tonight, we do have our wheel once again for a chance to win 2 seat tickets to the ball game on Friday against Montgomery. However, I'm going to make an amendment this week. If you know somebody, and I was encouraged by this last week, if you know somebody that would love these seats, feel free to put their name in there as well, and I'll give them a call tomorrow and let them know that they won if they were not able to attend the show tonight. So you'll do that, and we'll draw the winner at the end of the show. All right, back here with head coach Rodney Southern. Coach, district opens against Montgomery on Friday. Lost to them last year on the road. You guys have had quite the history of competitive games with the Bears, but it's a different-looking team this year. Thoughts on them so far this year?
Well, yeah, I think they're kind of in the same situation we're in. I think they were really good 2 years ago, and Coach Bofine had to make a schedule and then went through that schedule, and now they're kind of having to deal with that. They played Dayton, they've played New Caney, they've played Barbers Hill, and then they played Argyle the other night. So they've had 4, I consider, quality opponents that, and they were down at one point 39-7 against Dayton, and 7-8 minutes later it's 39-34. They should have beaten New Caney. They played Barbers Hill tough in some spurts. So I think they're kind of dealing with some of the same things. They're playing a lot of juniors. They're playing 2 quarterbacks. They're playing 2 running backs. They've got 3 seniors on the offensive line, but their center's a sophomore. So they're having some growing pains. And I think their growing pains, to me, are coming a little bit more on the defensive side of the ball. But again, I told our kids Saturday, and we told them again this morning, everybody's got 0-0 by their record right now. You don't look at what's happened to them in the past because, they were in the same boat we're in now last year, and they beat us over there. So we can't let that happen.
Now, Coach, this year in your in the non-district, the defense is really what kept you in all 4 of the games, if you will. And, well, aside from the Brillan game because, well, you guys just took care of business on that front. But the other ones, defense kept you in it. What do they need to continue to work on as the weeks go by as we start these more important games?
Well, I think when you feel good about your defense physically, I think the number one thing you got to look at is, continue to be physical, but you got to create some turnovers. Because that becomes like the other night, the sack by Shiloh, the fumble recovery. You create momentum plays. It's no different than an offense creating an explosive play with a pass or a run or whatever it might be. You create those dynamic things when you turn the ball over defensively. It's kind of like a punt return or a kickoff return, what it does. But, I think consistency, especially getting off the field on third down, I thought we did that the other night for the most part. We put our defense in a bad spot in a couple times, and that's going to happen. They've got to be able to go out there and at least hold a team to a field goal. But the big thing is continue to create turnovers. The crazy part of this game the other night, we were +2 in the turnovers, and we had 7 penalties. They had 6 penalties. So there were a lot of things structurally that we were good in, and but you also got to score points offensively too, and you got to have opportunities when you get in the red zone that you got to get points. And there was one more opportunity. I probably should have kicked a field goal, but you want your defense to be physical. You want your defense to create turnovers, and you want them to play with confidence. And I think they're playing with confidence right now. And I know with Juwan coming back, it was eating him up the other night that he couldn't get out there and help his football team. And, and he and I have had multiple conversations because when I decided to move him way back, I don't know if he was 100% sure about that, but just watching him today in practice, he's a natural guy at that position. So, being full strength there and obviously having Isaiah back helps because Isaiah can play 2 or 3 positions if we need him to.
Yeah, I loved it, man. The physicality is there, and it's just fun to watch. You talked a little bit earlier about injuries. Kind of give us one more time, kind of go through it, give us an injury update.
Well, I think right now, everybody's good. Now we still got to get to Friday. Things can
right.
always happen, sickness and, stuff that is kind of out of your control sometimes. But Juwan will be back. Everybody else, of course, Isaiah was back last week, so everybody should be good at that point. Offensive line-wise, knock on wood, we've been pretty consistent and pretty healthy there. So, Austin was back, obviously, today. He was there Saturday and feels a little better, so we'll have both quarterbacks ready to go. Trayshawn Brown's kind of been, his ankle had kind of bothered him since Brillan, and he practiced really well today. And, of course, Braylon's physically a tough guy, so I don't worry about whether or not he'll be there or not. So, just to be, number one, have everybody, and then have a depth guy that you can go into a game knowing, hey, if this guy gets banged up, we got a guy that can replace him.
Coach, before we let you go, just an update on the new stadium and anything else you may want to share.
Well, there was a couple things the other night I mentioned that, and I sometimes when you're in a game, you don't pay attention to it. But, our student section, I've started to hear them more, and I wear a headset that's only got one cover on it, so I can hear sometimes. I don't pay a lot of attention to it. But, our student section has done a good job. And obviously when we get in the new stadium, they're going to have a whole section at the bottom of the stands. So, I want to say something about them, and we're going to do some things to try to help them, especially when we get in the new stadium, to create that atmosphere where kids, number one, they want to come to the game. They want to cheer for their teammates and their school, but I want them to have a good time when they're there too. And, and if they're painting their faces or whatever they choose to do, I don't want to be in charge of all that because that's a headache. But I wanted them to know that I recognize that, and we're going to push that envelope a little bit and hopefully get them better organized and help them for when we go into the new stadium. So, and everything is moving now. Y'all have probably seen on either Facebook or it's been all over social media. The dedication will be October the 2nd. That's just kind of a ceremony to, number one, to thank the community for 2 years ago for having a vision to see, what we're going to have. We are in the process. Furniture started arriving today. Training room equipment arrived today. Hopefully, if everything goes right, next Thursday, September 28th, the JV game will be played in the new stadium, assuming everything goes according to plan. And then the following week, we'll play a junior high game on hopefully Tuesday, October 3rd. Thursday, October 5th would be a JV. And then Friday, October 6th, homecoming would be the first varsity game in a brand new stadium. So now, obviously, there's still we got to get over a couple more hurdles, but and finish up some stuff. But the good thing, the press box inside is basically complete. They're still doing a little bit with the video board and all that kind of stuff, but our people have already been trained on all that. We've already been trained on the scoreboard. We're having a logistics walkthrough tomorrow at 3:30 that's going to have basically everybody that can be a part of it, concession people, police, everybody that's going to be kind of where they need to be, because if you're working a gate and you don't know where that gate is, but we're going to have some run-throughs. The JV games and the junior high games, if we get all those intact, we're going to have all our people there so they can get used to where I am, where do people park, what happens with that. But hopefully, because obviously next week we're on the road on a Saturday, so that gives us a little extra time to get some other things done. But hopefully we're going to be able to get our kids in there at some point, maybe this weekend or the first part of next week. And then we're going to use the open date to do a lot of the other stuff, because I can't miss practice time, to move a whole lot of stuff. So we're probably going to work out of both field houses for a little while just till we can get some time. And we may ask guys and their parents to come help us, because it's just a matter of getting stuff from point A to point B. And we're going to open the field house the night of the ceremony on October 2nd, too. We're going to open it up, and whether all the weight equipment's done then or not, we're going to open everything up and let people kind of come take a look, because, once you realize what we're going to have, especially the views, when this is all done, we're going to have an incredible facility. And I've already already have 2 playoff games lined up for the week after Thanksgiving, assuming we're not playing at home that week. So it's exciting because people now want to see it. They want to be a part of it. And but the big thing for me is the Monday, to be able to tell people thank you in a personal way. And obviously Dr. Shepard and our school board will be a big part of that. But I've told as many people that I can, that not only is this something that you approved 2 years ago, or a year and 12 months, 11 months, whatever it is, but the fact that this is going to change the entire entity that we have in terms of athletics. We're going to have a front door for athletics for the first time ever. People don't realize Lisa and my wife and Cody Hassel, our assistant AD, work out of the high school. Well, we work out of the field house. We've never been in one place together, so it's going to create an environment. And obviously, anytime you build a field house, the weight room is the kind of the key thing. But I guess I'm getting older. I'm more excited about our training room and our storage room than more than anything, because we're going to be able to have everything in one place.
There you have it. Y'all give a big round of applause to head coach Rodney Southern and everybody that helped make this possible. We're close. We're very close, folks. All right, coming up next now from the defensive line side of things, it's time for our coach's spotlight. Y'all give it up for defensive line coach Chris Smith.
Coach, how are you?
I'll let him get situated. Again, folks, we got the wheel right there. If you want to throw your name or somebody else's name into the hat, just throw it in there, and we'll draw it at the end of the show. Coach, how are you, sir?
Doing well. How are you?
Doing great. Glad to have you on here tonight. So just to get a little bit of background on you real quick, how'd your coaching journey begin at Huntsville High?
I've been at Huntsville for 8 years. I think this is my 8th year. When I first got, my wife worked here, it's her 9th year in Huntsville. So I left Madisonville and then came down here. Started off working with the freshman team. And then me and Coach Del Real both started off with that group. And that was the group with Matthew Southern and Jaden Schroeder, where we went 4 rounds deep, 3 rounds deep once they were juniors and seniors. Mm-hmm. So I got to follow that group up. I joined the varsity staff after my first year, and then kind of got mentored by Coach Schroeder. But yeah, I coach linebackers, D-line, both here.
There you go. Ryan?
Coach, what is the so you're the defensive line coach. What's your favorite thing about coaching the defensive line?
I mean, I coach the defensive line, but I specify with the defensive tackles, and then I have Coach Goree. Me and him work together, and he focuses on the D ends when we separate, and then, I'm going to coach D tackles, D ends, linebackers. If they mess up, I'm going to coach the defense. And if an O lineman, we're working with O linemen, and I see something they're not doing right, I'm going to coach them up too. But the best thing about D-line is that it just comes down to the little things. So anybody can do it as long as they have the physical tools. That's what I like about it, just focusing on those little things from firing off the ball to making tackles. And then if you have kids that are special and can do things like Ed Bobino could do, then you get to really focus on the intricate technical things that lead to explosive plays and highlight reels.
Nice.
So, Coach, real quick here, just looking at that, personnel that you have on the squad, you got quite a mixed bag of veteran and young guys on that defensive line. You got Zach Moss, Kadarian Easley, of course, leading the charge, but then you got the younger guys like Tyler Smith, who had a great game on Friday night, and Fred Oladelli as well. I mean, how does that benefit you not only as a coach, but from your perspective, really the entire defense?
I mean, I think that high school kids have to be pushed, and probably not just high school kids, but if you were coaching college, it's probably important for them to be pushed. And that's what having depth is the thing that we haven't had really in a long time. I don't know what year it would have been, 2019 maybe, when Ed and Brian Bobino were juniors, was the last time that we really had depth on our D-line. Before then, we had 4 guys who were really good, but that year we actually had some depth. And since then, we hadn't had depth. Mm-hmm. And I think that's really pushing the group beyond what it has been the last couple of years. The last couple of years, maybe we had, Jadarius and Julian, who were really good players, but they weren't being pushed beyond what they, to make the next step. And then they had some injuries there. And JT stepped up and made some really good plays for us and played well for us on the D-line. Now he's converted to O-line, but he made some really good plays for us and was always, always there, always doing what we needed to do, that kind of guy. But then there was nobody behind them. And I think that when you have depth on a position where you get worn out after 2 plays, because you're going to give everything you got, because you're taking on 2 guys. It's, for the most part, you're taking 2 for 1. And they get worn out, they need a break, and when you don't have depth, it really hinders you. So that's the reason that Tyler and Fred and Zach and Hezekiah and Kadarian and Noah, they're all doing really well this year because they know that somebody else may step right in there, because then Isaiah Lewis is a big old boy who could step in there, and he's not going to do everything right, but he's a big body, and he's hard to move.
One of the things you just said I thought was absolutely perfect. You're pushing these guys, and you push these guys because they don't understand their limits. I don't think in everyday life, if you got somebody pushing you, it's going to make you better. I absolutely love that answer. What does it mean to you to be a part of this Huntsville program?
I mean, it means the world to me because, being here, this is the longest I've ever been in one place. I've bounced around to a few different places before here, and it's nice to have a consistent coaching staff and to work with the group of men and, good men, good Christian men, that's a big deal to me. And that was a big deal when I got hired, that I knew it was important to be a part of a good staff, but I had no idea that, a group of men would stay so long, because my previous places, I coached 5 years before I came here, and I went through a span where I had 5 athletic directors / head coaches in a 3-year span at one point.
Wow.
It was just a lot of turnover, and it was just a run of bad luck for me as far as career choices, but it was just something that happened. So just being here and having Coach Southern, who's consistent and he's there, and having knowing who that he's going to answer the phone if we call, and then we're not worried about him, moving somewhere else. Like for me, that was a big deal. So it means a lot just being with a good group of coaches.
There you go. Coach, before we let you go, our friends here at Chick-fil-A wanted to give you a special gift just for everything that you do, and we appreciate you coming on tonight.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thank you, guys.
Y'all give it up for Coach Chris Smith. We're going to step aside and take a quick break. When we come back, we'll transition to the player segments as Brillan Phelps, he joins us next here on the Hornet Nation Coaches Show.
TJ Burdett & Sons has money for your scrap metal. For over 47 years, TJ Burdett & Sons Recycling has served Walker County with high prices and straight deals. Bring your scrap and get some scratch. Get paid the most anywhere. That's TJ Burdett & Sons Recycling. Exit 118 North I-45, just past the Exxon truck stop. Visit TJ Burdett & Sons website at tjbnsrecycling.com for more information. That's TJ Burdett & Sons Recycling.
This is Kevin with Beckham & Jones Heating and Air Conditioning. It never fails. Hottest week of the year and the AC goes out and you don't have any money available to have it replaced. Well, call Beckham & Jones at 936-295-9173 and I will come out, give you a free quote to replace that old AC with a new carrier system and help you apply for financing so you can get that new AC with affordable monthly payments. Free quotes, financing, and affordable monthly payments. Now that's Beckham & Jones.
License number 26079C.
Lewis gets the snap, stays in the pocket, fires this one to Brillan Phelps. He's in. Touchdown. Huntsville, 2-yard strike, and the Hornets are back within a one-possession game on the 2-yard throw from Marcus Lewis to Brillan Phelps.
That's how you close out a drive. March them all the way down the field and punch it in. Nice job there by the Huntsville Hornets.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here on the Hornet Nation Coaches Show. Carlos Zimmerman here with Brian Adams. And joining us now from the team is starting running back, number 4, Brillan Phelps. Y'all give it up for Brillan. How are you, sir?
Good. How are you?
Doing good. Glad to have you on the show tonight. So, I believe we had you on last year, if I'm not mistaken. All right, so how you been since we last had you on?
Good.
Just hanging in there?
Yes, sir.
Enjoying yourself? Good deal. So, looking through this season so far, 4 games down, what's been the most exciting thing for you? You've gotten action quite a bit on the ball so far.
Really just been getting the feel of it all at the start of the season.
Okay.
Ready for the real game.
That's right. Brian?
From your perspective, what has been the most challenging part of this year?
Trying to finish the games off. Because sometimes we start off slow and then we start to pick it up at the end of the game. We need to just work on starting off strong and finishing strong at the same time.
Playing a complete game.
Yes, sir.
All four quarters, absolutely. So, you've gotten a lot more looks at the running back side of things. You were playing a lot of partly the defense last year, and then halfway through the year moved you over to running back. What's that transition been like, moving over to the offense?
I've been playing offense and defense mostly my whole life, so it's been kind of easy.
A simple transition?
Yes, sir.
There you go. So, looking back at Friday, and, really the whole non-district, where do you feel like you've grown, at not only as a player, but, just as a young athlete as well?
Mostly my experience, where my experience at.
Because you're a junior. Are you junior or senior this year?
Junior.
Junior. Okay, so you still got a whole other year on you. So you got a lot of action as a sophomore, which that's always good to have.
Yes, sir.
Brian?
What did you work on today specifically in preparation for your game this coming Friday?
Ball security, worked on my routes and stuff.
So, I want to talk about that game against Belton. You had an excellent ball game. I know there was a couple of mistakes here and there, and what I loved was, Coach Southern walking up to you after the ball game and, just being able to talk to you about that. Just from your perspective, what was that like, just having a coach that, not only cares about you as a player but as a man as well?
I feel secure. I feel like he got my back.
There you go. There you go, Coach. How's it been? So you're in this running back role, and then you share it with Trayshawn as well. Just talk about that chemistry that both you and Trayshawn have.
Me and him, we just be laughing on the field.
And so you feel like it's more comfortable?
Yes, sir.
With that? That's good. B.A.?
So, Brillan, with the new stadium and field house on the way, what excites you most about getting to play in the stadium? You can call it your own. What excites you the most about all that?
And just a new experience on a new field. I like it.
That's just incredible that you guys are going to have this beautiful state-of-the-art facility. And think about it, one of only 2 schools in the state of Texas who did not have their own stadium. Now there's only going to be one because Huntsville's going to have their own.
Yeah, so I guess Stephenville's just going to have to jump on it here pretty quick. So we'll see how that goes out. But, yeah, Huntsville gets its own stadium, and that's going to be awesome. And, hey, you get not just the rest of this year, but you get a full other year after that. So you're going to be terrorizing defensive lines and defenses for another year. So that's good. All right, I'm going to throw some rapid fire your way here, Brillan, and just want to get to know your personality just a little bit here. And, these are some of the questions I didn't ask you last year, so I'm going to throw these at you real quick. What's your favorite meal at home?
Etouffee.
Etouffee. Okay. Crawfish or shrimp? Or is there something different I'm not thinking of?
I feel like my dad made both.
Okay.
I think your dad's pretty excited about that was your answer.
But you just like etouffee in general?
Yes, sir.
It do be good. It's really good. Favorite subject in school?
Right now it's been physics, to be honest.
Why physics? Interesting.
I feel like I'm getting the hang of it. I'm getting pretty good at physics.
The grades are good in it too.
That's awesome.
Okay. I was never that guy.
I wasn't a physics guy either.
No, neither chemistry either. Least favorite subject in school?
English right now.
That's always the one. It's always English. I don't understand it. Okay, from your perspective, why English is your least?
They're reading for a long period of time. I don't know. I ain't never got used to it.
I was the same way.
Trigonometry was mine.
I wonder why.
That was my favorite. I'm totally kidding.
If it was for me, if I took calculus, it would have been calculus. Who's your biggest inspiration? And why?
Family.
Family?
All of them. They all inspire me.
In what way?
They just motivate me a lot.
Good.
Help keep me,
Who's your biggest motivator on the field?
My cousin, Coach Brazil.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because he always talking trash.
There you go, Coach
I got to
Brazil.
prove him wrong.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thoughts on getting to play for that guy right there, Coach Southern?
Yeah, it's a blessing.
Good. Simple as that. Who's your favorite NFL team, if you have a favorite NFL team?
I do not have
You do not.
NFL team.
Do you watch pro sports at all in any way?
Not really too much because I used to watch Marshawn Lynch a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're one of those guys that likes the players and stuff like that. Do you have a favorite player right now?
No, sir.
Okay. Let's see. If you could play a different position besides running back, I know you've been all over the field, but if there was another position that you could devote all your life, power, strength into, what would it be and why?
I'll go back to linebacker.
Linebacker?
I love hitting.
Mm-hmm. I've noticed that. They really do love just hitting each other in practice whenever I
Well,
go, and it's a blast.
Keep it up.
Yes. Ryan?
My turn?
Yes.
All right, so
Right there.
right here. Brillan, where do you see yourself in the next 10 years?
Wealthy, still working on my sports. I want to get to the NFL so bad.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
Do you have a dream team you want to play for one day?
the Seahawks.
Seahawks,
huh?
Yeah.
Marshawn Lynch, part of it?
Follow in the footsteps of Marshawn Lynch. You know, they got a guy right now, Kenneth Walker, there in Seattle, and he is an absolute stud. So you'd be following in the footsteps and maybe competing with him one day. Who knows? Who knows? Let's see. Let me ask you this. Would you rather be able to run 100 miles an hour or fly 100 miles an hour?
Right.
Run. Why?
I use my own feet.
Dude, you about at 90 now.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're already, turning 50 when you hit the holes, so that's good. All right, I'm going to throw some this or that your way here, Brillan. All right, breakfast or dinner?
Breakfast.
Okay. Eat at home or go out to eat?
Eat at home.
Attaboy. Burgers or chicken?
Chicken.
On National Cheeseburger Day of all places. Donuts or cookies?
Donuts.
Okay. Gatorade or Powerade?
Gatorade.
Attaboy. Dr. Pepper or Coke?
Coke.
I don't know about that one. Flying by plane or driving?
I only flew by a plane twice, so
Probably driving.
Yeah.
I hear that. PlayStation or Xbox?
Xbox.
Okay. iPhone or Android?
iPhone.
Attaboy. Running or swimming?
Running.
All right. Answer this carefully. Fries or tater tots? It's the same thing.
Yeah.
We had this last week. Yeah.
All right. LeBron or MJ?
LeBron.
Okay. Instagram or TikTok?
Right now, TikTok got me.
Is there any trend that you're gravitated to right now, or you just love scrolling through it to kill time during the day?
I'm making a little TikTok
Okay.
myself, so.
Okay. All right. Thanksgiving or Christmas?
Christmas.
Okay. Winter or summer?
Winter.
You're more of a cold weather guy.
Yes, sir.
I got you. Now, two more for you. Brian, I'll let you ask this first one about the steak.
About the steak? All right. Speaking of steaks, how you like your steaks cooked?
Well done.
Well done.
Well done.
All right.
There you go.
Loves chewing on them. All right. And if you were stranded, our favorite question on the show, if you were stranded on an island, what 4 things would you have to have with you?
Can I pick people?
Sure.
Oh, man, I can't pick people. That'd be selfish.
You don't want them suffering on that island, do you?
No.
At least you wouldn't be alone.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know.
Don't know.
Something to eat.
Something to eat.
Drink.
All right, there you go. You got water all around you.
Yeah.
Coconuts
And stuff like that. All right, Brillan, before we let you go, anyone who give a shout out to, maybe plug your TikTok too?
My TikTok is Braylo winning. BRAYL00.winning.
There you go. I'll give you a follow after we're done with the show. All right, y'all give it up for running back Brillan Phelps joining us tonight on the show.
Nice job, Brandon.
Appreciate you, Brillan. All right, we'll step aside and take a break. Now we'll flip over to the defense. Bug number 8, Mccor Norman joins us next on the Hornet Nation Coaches Show.
Hi, folks. Clint Mack here with Wiesner Buick GMC in Huntsville. It's football season, and that always brings cooler weather and brighter days. And here at Wiesner, it brings bigger deals. We have 0.9% APR on select vehicles. That's right, folks. 0.9% APR is back. We also have rebates up to $2,500 on select vehicles. We've got a great selection of trucks and SUVs with dealer discounts up to $5,000. So don't miss out on these great deals here at Wiesner Buick GMC in Huntsville, or visit us online at WiesnerHuntsville.com, where we are home of the bottom line. GMC is professional grade.
Now's the time to get a great deal on select Kubota compact tractors, rated #1 in durability and owner experience. They're designed for easy operation and feature performance-matched attachments. Right now at participating dealers, get a Kubota compact tractor for 0 down, 0% APR for 72 months, plus save up to $800 on qualifying implements. Now through September 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com/disclaimers for full disclaimer.
Stop in the Huntsville Truck and Tractor today, conveniently located at 2124 Highway 30 East in Huntsville, or call us at 936-291-8103. The Hornet defense trying to make another big stop. Hornets look to show blitz with Destin Sapoli coming at the quarterback Salazar. He trips, it's a screen, but Jackson is met immediately at the 45-yard line. Guess who? Mccor Norman.
Man alive, what a nice hit there. Wow, good job there by that Hornet defense.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here on the Hornet Nation Coaches Show, live from Chick-fil-A in Huntsville. And now joining us is the man that made a couple of big hits on Friday night. It's Bug number 8, Mccor Norman. Mccor, how are you, sir?
Good. How about y'all?
Doing great. Glad to have you on the show tonight. I believe this is our first time having you on the show, so
yes, sir.
Welcome. Let me ask you, just to get a little background on you, what made you go the football route whenever you were growing up?
Man, I started out very young. It's like I always liked the contact. I was always aggressive, rough. Played pick 'em up, bust 'em with my family. In
Pick
the
'em
yard.
up, bust 'em?
Yes, sir.
Love it.
It made me aggressive. Then I moved to the offense side because I had speed and ability to get up the field. And ever since then, I just took it and never looked back.
So what have you been enjoying more? I mean, I know you started as a wide receiver last year, kind of mixing around on that side, but now you flipped to the linebacker side. What have you been enjoying more?
Well, if everybody know, we're a run first team, so it was kind of like we was more blocking, which I ain't selfish. I like blocking. I was aggressive. But linebacker, I just get more action. It's more funner.
More fun. And you got a lot of action on Friday night.
Sure
it seemed like every single play I look up and who's popping up off the top of the pile? It's Abe.
We're calling his name.
Calling his name every single time. There was a drive, we called your name twice in the same drive, and I was like, man. And then I said I knew who was going to be on the coach's show on Monday, and he was. So there you go, Brian.
Being that linebacker core, what is the most challenging thing when walking up to face an opposing offense?
I mean, Coach Dale always told us, fear none, be aggressive. It's always, swarm to the ball.
Well, that's great advice. That is really good advice.
And it's perfect. You
swarm.
know, the whole swarm and compete.
Swarm. We've been hearing swarm. That's been going on for years before you were even a Hornet. That's awesome.
There you go. So where do you feel like you need to continue to improve on as we get into district play?
Keeping my head up when I tackle. Keep running to the ball, being physical, working my hands more, getting off blocks, dropping back to my pass coverage, staying under coverage, no mental bust.
Where do you feel like you excel more? Because, as a linebacker, I played linebacker, and you have to balance so many things at one time, if they're going to drop back and pass or if they're going to run the ball. Where do you feel like you excel more, whenever you're in pass coverage or run coverage?
Well, I would say run coverage because 9 times out of 10, if I read my keys like Coach Bo taught us, it'll tell you where the ball going, and I can be there to make the play.
Let me ask you this. So, I have a different dynamic with Coach Bo because, I knew him from over on the softball side of things, but you worked with him on a football level. What's that been like, working with Coach Bo?
It's fun. He don't take the fun out of it. He tell you to enjoy yourself, but also it's a time when to enjoy yourself and when to be serious.
There you go, Bo. All right, Brian?
What stands out to you on film so far about Montgomery, who's coming in Friday night to play you guys?
Well, of course, they little quarterback number 4. They had to deal with him last year, which I ain't really worried about it. Keep my head up, tackle. That's all. Watch where the H-back go and read my keys, and I'll be all right.
There you go. And so, like I asked you earlier, the defense has provided a different picture for you. But now you're playing in that linebacker core. You got Jawan on one side of you. You may have Shiloh on the other. And, you get Jawan back on Friday, of course. And then you got other guys that you've been able to learn from, like Trayvon. I know he's out with an injury right now, but you also got to learn with some other guys. What's that been like, having that chemistry with those guys?
Well, it's fun being up beside Shiloh. He's going to always push me. And if it's something that I don't know right then and there, I know I can ask him because he's played all 3 positions. And then it's fun playing with Jawan because he going to bring the energy. He going to swarm to the ball. So it's like, and that's my cousin, so we got a bond. Then me and Shallow grew up playing HYFL together. We was the running back and quarterback duo. So
wow, that's awesome.
Chemistry.
There you go, Brian.
I love that, man. How do you continue that defensive momentum you guys got going on into next week and beyond?
Take film seriously, no mental errors, pay attention when the coaches is talking, and just go out and play and have fun and do what you coach to do.
Go out there and play football. That's all there is to it.
That's a great answer.
So, we asked Brillan, and I'll ask you this as well. New stadium's on the way. Hopefully here in a couple of weeks we'll be playing that first game on homecoming night. Just what's exciting about that for you? You get to play that not just this year, but you'll get more years as well going down the line.
Well, Sam Houston always treated us like a home, but it's actually something that we can say ours, And we get to experience what it feel like playing at your own stadium.
There you go.
And then some of the awesome stuff Coach Southern told us about it just brings in.
What's going to be that feeling for you when you guys are running out onto the field, Enter Sandman is blasting at as loud as it can be in that stadium? Yes.
First time ever.
What do you think that feeling's going to be like?
It's going to be fun. Hopefully everybody have good energy, come out ready to play. Hopefully we could get a dub to open it up.
And a capacity crowd, hopefully, to boot as well, just cheering y'all's names. So there
yes,
you
sir.
go. All right, let's throw some rapid fire your way. I need to ask this right off the top because we got a lot of bugs on the team. Why do they call you Bug?
Man, I don't even know, honestly. Honestly, I don't know. I think it's probably because when I was younger, I used to just chase bugs, like to kill them.
Yeah.
All right, there you go.
Get a nickname.
You find one way or another. You used to call me Cinnamon as a kid.
Cinnamon?
Because of my last name.
I always tell J-Bug that was my name first.
There you go. All right, let me ask you, favorite meal at home?
Probably when my dad barbecue.
Okay. What does he barbecue?
Ribs, baked potatoes.
All the fixins.
Yes, sir.
Man, ribs sound good right now. Favorite subject in school?
I'm gonna have to give it to Miss Schroeder, world history.
Okay. What do you like about world history?
She make it fun, and she actually teaches you. She actually make you learn instead of just giving you answers. So you actually learning in there.
As it should be. As it should be. BA?
Let's see. Let's see. Where are we at?
Least favorite.
Least favorite subjects in school and why?
Man, it's probably going to be physics.
So least favorite?
Complete opposite of Brillan. Interesting.
Yeah,
Why
me and
physics?
Brillan got that class together.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. And I don't too much feel it. Brillan, he feel it, but I don't.
That's fair. That's very fair. Who's your biggest inspiration?
I'm going to say my dad.
Why
I
your
look
dad?
up to my dad. He always pushes me to do better, and he don't want me, like, getting myself off the track, staying on the right track. Like, freshman year, I was on a whole nother track there. Sat down and talked to Coach Southern, and he woke me up. I like to thank Coach Southern for that, too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see. Do you have a favorite NFL team?
I ain't got a favorite NFL team. I got a couple players, though.
Okay, what players?
I'm going to say Zeke, Odell, Dak. Every now and then when he have a good game.
So you're a fair weather fan?
Which I would like to say right now is off and on, but Dak's having a great year so far, so I'll let it slide. But Zeke, moving over to New England, do you still want to follow him on that front, even though he's out of the Dallas shadow?
No, I ain't really too much feeling it. I feel like they shouldn't have let him go, but I mean, they do got a better running back. Pollard, he nice.
Yeah, he is. He was lighting up the New York
They
teams
got
over the last couple of weeks.
The little midget coming, Deuce.
Deuce Vaughn, yeah. All right. Do you have a favorite college team that you like to follow?
LSU.
LSU. Go Tigers.
Yeah.
Go Tigers.
I started out watching Odell play there, and I liked it. It was just enjoyment, fun to watch.
Being an interesting year for them, especially as they move along. Let's see. Favorite athlete of all time?
Myself.
Yourself. I like it. I like that confidence. I really do. Do you have a dream vacation you just want to go on?
We talked about it in Miss Schroeder class a couple weeks ago. It's to, like, I forgot what it's called. It's to this place where, like, the pigs in the water light blue.
It's got to be in the Caribbean somewhere.
Nah, yeah. I forgot what it's called.
Bahamas?
Bahamas, yeah.
There you go. The Bahamas. You know, I mean, if we luck out one of these days, maybe we'll get the Bahamas Bowl with the Bearcats or something.
Yeah.
You and I'll
mattressmac.com bowl.
Yes. We'll be lounging by the pool or on the beach. Anyway, let's see. Do you have a dream job after football?
Nah, really, I'm dependent on football. If I don't make it in football, welding.
Welding. Okay, that's a good deal. Always good. Always good to pick up a trade.
Yep.
All right, Brian, I'm going to let you start the this or that with that one right there.
Practicing in the morning or in the evening?
I'm going to say morning.
Why the morning?
It's cooler, and for some reason I have more energy in the morning than in the evening.
It's very fair. It's very fair.
Breakfast or dinner?
I'm going to say dinner.
Okay.
And eat at home or eat out?
Eat at home always.
Always.
Yeah.
It's always been eat at home.
It has been always eat at home, hasn't it?
I need to pick up on that more.
It's cheaper.
Save
money.
It is. It very much is.
I like that. Economics there.
Absolutely. Let's see. Donuts or cookies?
I'll say donuts. I don't really like cookies like that.
Okay. Burgers or chicken?
Most definitely burgers.
Okay. Gatorade or Powerade?
I'm going to say Gatorade.
All
Powerade make me feel like I got a hiccup.
Dr. Pepper or Coke?
Dr. Pepper.
Attaboy. Flying by plane or driving?
I'm going to drive. I like to stay on the ground.
That's fair. PlayStation or Xbox?
PlayStation.
Attaboy. iPhone or Android?
iPhone.
All right. Fries or tater tots?
They're the same, but if I had to, I would say tater tots.
Okay. Maybe throw a little potato wedges in there sometimes?
A little cheese on the potato tots.
There you go. Texans or Cowboys?
Cowboys all the way.
Okay. Astros or Rangers?
Astros.
Attaboy. Let's see. More of our controversial questions. LeBron or MJ?
MJ. I don't like LeBron. He's too much of a crybaby to me.
It's okay. You don't have to worry. LeBron's not watching this. Instagram or TikTok?
Instagram.
Okay. You don't have a TikTok that you're making TikToks?
I do got a TikTok.
All right. Thanksgiving or Christmas?
Christmas, most definitely.
Winter or summer?
Summer.
All right. And our favorite question, as we ask everybody on the show here, if you were stranded on an island, what 4 things would you want to have with you, and why?
My mom, a flashlight, something to start a fire, and I don't know what else. Maybe a weapon to go hunting with.
All right, there you go. Very, very practical.
Yeah, last week everybody was wanting off that island.
I know. I've noticed that with just it varies week to week, but that's good. Very practical. All right, Bug. Before we let you go, anybody want to give a shout out to?
Shout out to my mom. Shout out to my uncle Roger Keith. Shout out to the coaching staff. Big shout out to Coach Southern, and I would like to thank y'all for being here with me, and shout out to everybody that comes and support us.
All right, there you have it. Y'all
Fantastic.
give it up for Mccor Norman.
Good job, McCor.
I'm going to look to my producer here and tell me how much time I have left. We have 4 minutes left, so we're going to just combine the segments here. Ms. Casey Kroll. Oh, thank you, McCor. Thank you.
Good job, man.
All right, we're going to have Casey come on up here and join us from the Huntsville Hornet Quarterback Club. Y'all give it up for El Presidente, Casey Kroll. And we'll get those names here in just a few moments from our head honcho and Tim Johnson in just a moment. Casey, how are you? I'm
good.
Sorry we missed you last week. I don't know when to stop talking.
I know that feeling.
Hey, your meetings have gone shorter, though.
Of course.
There you go.
I stopped talking as much.
All right, what you got for us? What's going on in Hornet Nation?
We have rally towels going out this Friday night, donated by Double Dave's. Senior parents, senior moms, mark your calendar. October the 14th. We will be meeting at the field to take pictures with our sons. White shirts, jeans. That's all you need to know right now. Homecoming parade is October the 5th. Coach Southern did say the boys will be in the parade. That's all I got.
All right, there you go. We, unfortunately, will not be in the parade as we're going to be on the road with Sam Houston, but we will be back in time for the game. So we'll be awake also as well for that game. So, Casey, as always, if people want to follow you guys on social media, where can they follow you?
It is Huntsville Hornet Football. Our logo, there's 2 of them on there. Ours is with Buzzy. So follow us on there. All of our updates, when we meet, our spirit gear, all that good stuff. As soon as the stadium opens, we will have a Spirit Gear store. So y'all can come see us in there.
There you go. Casey, thank you as always.
Thank you.
I appreciate you very much. All right, folks, time to draw our winner of 2 seatback seat tickets to the district opener on Friday night against the Montgomery Bears. Again, I want to let you know that is a 6:45 p.m. pregame, 7:30 kickoff. We'll have the broadcast for you right here on KSAM as well on the 101.7 KSAM YouTube channel. Well, this one's kind of okay, never mind. It's not sticking anymore. So I'm going to draw our winner here. And they'll probably be getting a phone call from me tomorrow, and they're going to wonder, how did I win that?
I wasn't, yeah.
So we have drawn our winner here, and the winner of our 2 seatback seat tickets is, good friend of ours, Nolan Nichols is the winner here tonight. I'll be giving him a call tomorrow, let him know that he has got 2 seatback seat tickets to the ball game coming up on Friday. Well, folks, thank you for joining us once again for another edition of the Hornet Nation Coaches Show. Y'all give yourselves a big round of applause. Thank you for coming out tonight. Come on. We'll see you back here next week for another edition of the show. Don't forget, ball game, 6:45 p.m. on Friday for pregame, 7:30 kickoff. For Brian Adams, our producers Jordan Smith and Colin Neal, I'm Carlos Zimmerman. Thanks for tuning in. And on the count of 3, Brian, and everyone in the house tonight, let's give them a big 1, 2, 3. Sting 'em Hornets. 1, 2, 3. Thank you all. Have a good night. God bless. And so long from Chick-fil-A in Huntsville. We'll see you Friday night.
Slaughter's Diesel Repair in Huntsville. The only name you need for repairs to your Power Stroke, Cummins, or Duramax engine. Our technicians have the expertise and experience to diagnose and repair these powerful and clean-running engines. Whether your diesel truck needs a routine oil change or brake service, or more specialized diesel service or emergency repair, the experts at Slaughter's Diesel Repair are here to help. Call us today at 936-697-5073 to schedule your appointment.
This is Tim Rushing with Charlie's Used Cars. I am proud to announce our 50-year anniversary of serving the motoring public here in Huntsville. Charlie's Used Cars is a family-owned and operated business that strives to offer quality vehicles with superior customer service. Our commitment to the local community and the loyal customer base that we have built is something we don't take for granted. We appreciate the opportunity we have had the past 50 years and look forward to many more to come. Remember, if you are in the market for a pre-owned vehicle, then you need to come see us at Charlie's Used Cars, 230 I-45 South in Huntsville. We look forward to seeing you.
This has been the Huntsville Hornets Coaches Show with head coach Rodney Southern. Brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Hornet Pride lives on KSAM.